Okay, so we talked about the wolves and how obnoxiously dangerous these things are. Um, One thing I want to point out about the wolves is they will leave behind a tooth sometimes. They'll leave behind monster meat. Sometimes they'll leave behind jewels like diamonds and other gems. And sometimes they will catch on fire, which is a big problem, especially if you've taken a lot of time to plant flowers and grass and branches and bushes, and all of a sudden those all go up in smoke and become ashes because the stupid little wolf burst into flames. So it's just something you gotta be careful of. Okay, these things. I call these the anti-pigs because they live in houses that are similar to the pigs, but they're run down. They're typically in the swamps. They will attack you if you come near them, but their attention span does not allow for them to go very far, so they won't chase you down. However, if you make the mistake of knocking down their house or attacking one, they will come after you, and they're like the pigs. They are pretty powerful little things. However, you can lead them to the tentacles, and the tentacles will kill them, and then maybe they'll kill the tentacles, so you can get some extra goodies. So we're moving on to the tentacles. These things are nasty, but they're easily avoidable. When you're in the swamp and you're walking around, you'll see the ground moving. It's a little tiny spot, um, about the size of a rock, but it's bubbling, it's moving, it's shifting, so you know that one of these things is there. If you walk over it and stand over it, these things come up, they start waving around, and they will kill you. However, if you move out of their reach, they'll get bored and go back into their underground. You can lure spiders into there, and it's typical you can kill the spiders pretty easily. You just gotta be quick about getting the goodies left behind by the spiders. If these things get killed, which doesn't happen very often, but it does happen, they'll leave behind their tentacles, and they make really good weapons. They last as long as other weapons do, like the spear, but they do last, and you can use them. Um, so these things are good to have. Now, the mechanical things. There's uh, three different types. You have one that looks like a rhino, almost, and it'll barrel you over. It runs things over. It actually is good for clearing land because it'll take out the trees, the rocks, spiders, things like that. This particular one looks kind of like a giraffe kind of thing. It hops around, and its neck extends, and it'll kill you if you get hit too much with it. But you can avoid these things. They follow you for a little while and then they leave you alone. The third one will shoot laser beams at you. It's kind of creepy looking, and it will shoot the laser beams. And the laser beams will kill you slowly, but they will kill you eventually if you don't avoid them. The nice thing about these things, all three of them, is once you kill them, they leave behind gears. Now, the gears can be used to build a refrigerator. Why is a refrigerator important? Wintertime comes, you are stocking up on food, your food will go bad. Especially like the vegetables, the berries, things you've cooked, your meat, your food will eventually go bad. Some things take longer than others to go bad, but it will go bad. Honey and dried meat takes the longest to go bad. So you can store those in the refrigerator and keep them for pretty much the entire winter. So you have food all winter long. Trust me, it's a good thing. Okay, last page. Now, these bulb things, these will appear out of nowhere. All of a sudden one will be there, and not long after that, there'll be this bulb thing standing in the middle of a pack of eyeballs. And the eyeballs will attack if you get close to them. They kind of suck things in, so they'll suck in birds and meat, things like that, and it's stored in this bulb. If you can manage to hit the eyeballs, usually it takes 2 hits with a spear or an axe, and they'll disappear. But one will grow in its place very quickly, so you gotta move through the eyeballs to get to this bulb. Once you take care of the bulb and kill the bulb, it'll leave behind whatever things that the eyes sucked up, grass, food, things like that. but it'll also leave behind a fleshy bulb, so you can actually plant this in a different spot and utilize it. It really doesn't have a purpose other than annoyance and death, but it is there. Before I forget, the spiders can actually leave behind, if you kill all the spiders in that one little nest and then start hitting a 3-tiered spider web, you can actually get more of the webs, more of the silk, but you can also get a spider egg sac basically. And you plant that and you can basically have your own spider farm, which sounds creepy for those that are arachnophobes, but again, the spiders are important. I haven't had much experience with the walrus. You'll see indents in the ground throughout the game, and they're called walrus camps. I've only met the walrus once in the game, and they do basically dart guns at you and will kill you. But again, my experience with them was quick, and I haven't seen them since I had that one experience. Okay, the tree monsters. Yeah, picture the trees from the Ents from Lord of the Rings and give them bad attitude. That's what these things are. So, if you are chopping down a tree and it just happens to be one of these tree Ent things, it will attack you. And one swipe takes out a lot of health. So, it's best to avoid these things at all possible cost. If the tree is zeroed in on you, it will chase you down. It's slow, but it will chase you. The only way to get rid of these things is to actually plant pine cones. If you start planting pine cones, it kind of appeases them basically, and they settle down and they become trees again until you attack them again. What I typically do is if I know I need to get rid of these things, because if you start cutting down any trees in that vicinity, it will attack you again. Whether you're hitting it or not, it'll attack. So your best bet is to actually either set them on fire or get a bunch of pigs and let the pigs loose on them. These last two, I'm not entirely sure what they're called. I just know that they are destructive, dangerous, and they have destroyed more of my camps than I care to count. They feel the ground will actually start shaking, so your whole screen will start shaking, and you won't really know why, until all of a sudden, big swipe, and half your camp is wiped out. So these things will just destroy whatever is in their path, and step on it, squish it, what have you. They are huge. They are not impossible to kill. It just takes a lot to kill them. So your best bet is to just either outrun them and hide, or lure them to a herd of pigs, which is what I find is the best way, or lure them to a swamp where the tentacles can take care of them. You're not going to be able to kill them by yourself without putting them to sleep first. So, definitely utilize that. Okay, so that is all the different things you can use in the game. What I'm going to do is cut this video short because the next video will actually start playing. So, thank you and take care.